Hey, this is Brian, just giving you an update on the current version of my roguelike adventure, which is based in a grid-based program. I've added a menu here just to make things a little more professional looking than the previous demos. So we start out, in previous versions I've had it so that when you get started there's monsters right around you. So it's possible to just die within 2 seconds because you're not in a position to react. So here's the player. We're going to go ahead and move through and start attacking. I'm rather fond of this little plant here, the evil plant. I've changed the way that damage is calculated so that what happens is, you see here that I've got a base damage listed for the weapon damage amount. Base damage between 6 and 8. What I do now is with our stats, let's get into our stats, you can see we have melee attack and melee defense. So the enemy has an attack score and you have a defense value. And so for each point of base attack, a roll is done. You roll against the attack and you roll against the defense, and whichever one's higher is kind of which one wins. And that amount of damage is added to the calculation. So even though it says that the base damage here is between 6 and 8, it could be 1 if you won all your damage rolls, or it could be 24 if you lost all your damage rolls, lost all of your defense rolls. So there's still quite a bit of variety. The fists, I may need to tune these down a little bit. Right now it's 3 and 7. These little slimes are fun. If you hit them physically, you can do a lot of damage, but they do not take as much damage from magic. As it says, they're highly resistant to magic and ranged. I don't have ranged weapons in. I do have magic fireballs, which I think we've already shown off one. Loot is automatically picked up now instead of having to move on to the space. It makes sense in a live action game to have to move, but in a turn-based game it doesn't make as much sense because I have to waste a whole turn to get to that spot to pick up the loot. So now the loot's just picked up automatically, using our inventory system basically straight out of the box for the inventory course. As far as the dragging and everything goes, I've made some modifications to make the toolbars give you, the tooltips give you what kind of bonuses you get for each item. My items also have random bonuses to them as well, so you might have something that just has like an extra 0.2 intelligence or something like that. And I may explain how I do that in a future tutorial. Because you have the weapon configs, would seem like you wouldn't be able to hold random stuff, but if you copy the weapon config, you can. Ooh, I got a really good drop here. This is the enchanted leather vest. So it's usually you'll get a leather vest first, but there's like 1 in 100 drop of that enchanted leather vest, and here it is. So we'll just go ahead and throw that on there, and our defense has gone way up. Which, considering I don't have a sword yet, could be helpful. It's a turn-based game, so what happens is every item has a speed, and the higher your speed is, the more often your turns come. And you'll see where that plays in with this bat. We just move here, and you can see this bat's going to attack me twice because his speed is really fast. He might even get a third hit in because there's some randomness. No, he didn't. So I've kicked the bat, I've done a point of damage, but he is going to now cast a drain life and get his damage back, which does not seem fair. This guy's defense is really high. Everything in this is procedurally generated. The monsters are placed randomly, the terrain itself is placed randomly. Everything, it just seeds out and runs a random dungeon. And so every level is unique and different. and every experience is different. Even though you've got some of the same critters, they can be varied in levels and have varying abilities. This guy may not be killable. Not without a sword. He's going to heal as fast as I can hit him. Because about every 3 attacks, he gets to use his Drain Life. And the Drain Life is an action, much like the Fireball and the Cure Light Wounds is an action. You see here with the Cure Light Wounds, nothing happens. You can click on these all you want when it's not your turn. It takes longer between turns, depending on what's on the scene. If you keep your screen zoomed in like this, then anything that's not visible will, instead of doing the movement, actually running the animations of the movement, it'll just move the piece. But if it can be seen on the screen, then you can't do that. It won't look very good. So I have to do a kind of a culling to prevent... oh, he's still going. He must have healed. I do a kind of a culling to prevent moves. So you can see it's going really fast between these two. But if I scroll out and get these other characters in the background, then it actually has to animate and render all of their movements. And some of these guys get 2 or 3 moves per year move because they have really fast speeds. As you increase in level, you get faster speed, but so do they, as they increase in level. So, there is that. Anyways, this is kind of a rough demo. I wanted to get that out there to see some of the cooler features I've done and explain them all as we move along. I'm trying to get him dead here. I made a little change to the animation for death. There is a death animation, but what I did instead was I created a ragdoll. So he's about to die a horrible death because the bat's going to get 2 attacks. He'll get it for sure. I haven't been healing on purpose, and oh, he gets 1 more attack. See, a smart player would have healed by now, but I'm going ahead and pushing the death. And it's a ragdoll, so off the character goes. And right away it sends you right back to the main menu. And that's my demo. I will have more to come in a future one. Thank you.